Hello everybody and welcome to my week 3 team builder segment versus Gentleman Thomas, the commissioner of WPF Delta, at least one of them. He's one of the moderators that do the whole server sheboing. He's a great guy. I hope he has a great battle. I'm not going to hold you guys for too much longer. I'm going to jump right into the team builder segment. His team looks something like... Ooh, just crushed everything. His team builder looks something like that. He has Terrapagos, Roaring Moon, Metagross, Enamorous Thurian, Swampert, Sinistra, Okidogi, Mew, Electros, and Hisuian Typhlosion, with both Enamorous and Okidogi being able to terrestrialize. First thing I noticed when I looked at his team is that Roaring Moon is a massive threat. That Pokemon clicks Knockoff and Earthquake and Dragon moves into my entire team, and he doesn't really have a big issue doing it. I think the only thing that he does have to bring would be Iron Head in order to hit Clefable, because otherwise it just permanently walls it until the end of time. Something I'm most terrified of would be a Roaring Moon Dragon Dance Iron Head set, because it has the chance to flinch me. I think Booster Energy is really scary. But yeah, it's just a Pokemon that just comes in and clicks Knockoff on my entire team, and I don't really have a great way of dealing with it. I guess I could fish for Talonflame Burns. If I switch it to Clefable, it's 2-hit KO'd by Iron Head, and if I do get flinched on one of the Iron Heads, Clefable just dies, and I don't even get to retaliate with a Moonblast. It's not exactly the cleanest way for me to deal with it, so I do have to be cautious of that. Now, I do think its moves could be a little... up to debate. I do think he more than likely brings Earthquake as just a way to hit Iron Moth, but Iron Moth is so physically frail that I wouldn't be surprised if he thinks he can get away with just doing knockoff Dragon Claw, Brick Break Dragon Dance, because Brick Break is probably a more effective way of hitting Bisharp. Bisharp is actually a Pokemon Roaring Moon could struggle to deal with, or it would take just too much damage from. It can live a +1 Earthquake from Roaring Moon. It just hits it with an Iron Head immediately after. So I could see him bring Brick Break for Bisharp if he expects me to terrestrialize Iron Moth or Meloetta instead, which is possible. Now, to get into my part of the team builder, for that reason I do have Ice Shard on my Baxcalibur, and I am holding a Never Melt Ice. Now, that is never able to KO Baxcalibur or Roaring Moon, but Roaring Moon does take quite a hefty chunk from Ice Shard, 63%. Most of my extended team can put it into range of that type of attack. This Ice Shard is also good for something like Enamorous. In fact, after Stealth Rock's chip, if it's not heavy duty boots, it does just drop to an Ice Shard, which is super good. He also has for my set, it's Never Melt Ice, Ice Shard, Icicle Crash, Freeze Dry, and Earthquake. Freeze Dry is obviously to hit Swampert. It hits Swampert quite hard. It's not a guaranteed to KO if it's specially defensive, if I'm not mistaken, but actually it looks like it's a perfect one as long as it's not, that leftovers recovery is still pretty important. After Stealth Rocks, it is a guaranteed 2-hit KO. Wow, that's a really hefty hit. I didn't realize it actually 2-hit KO'd reliably. Other than that, I also have Earthquake in order to hit specifically Metagross, and that's kind of it. It is a better move for me to spam into Okidogi and obviously Typhlosion as well, but even Okidogi gets 2-hit KO'd by Icicle Crash if it's more of a offensive version. Icicle Crash does 42% to max HP versions of Okidogi, so if it's not max HP, it's just max speed, max attack, or something like that, Icicle Crash is actually a consistent 2-hit KO, and Earthquake's obviously stronger, so if I ever click Icicle Crash into it, I can either spam Icicle Crash again to make him think I'm Scarfed or Banded or something, and then click Earthquake into it afterwards. Metagross is 2-hit KO'd by Earthquake as well, if I'm not mistaken, a max HP version, in fact. And then something like, there's a couple other Pokemon that I do struggle to damage a little bit. Terrapagos is something that I'm always going to struggle to damage. It doesn't really matter if It doesn't really matter if I have like any super effective moves for it, because I'm just typically not going to hit it very hard. My best move would be something like Glaive Rush, but Glaive Rush isn't needed. In fact, I do think having Icicle Crash is probably a little bit more valuable, so that if I am in Roaring Moon and, you know, maybe I have to tank a hit, I don't have to click Ice Shard twice. I can maybe just get Icicle Crash, something like that. I feel like maybe I could justify over. Sinistra takes 78% from Icicle Crash, which is a really powerful amount. Glaive Rush doesn't quite hit that hard into Sinistra, so I do think Icicle Crash has more merit over Glaive Rush in general. It also hits Mew really hard. 47%, or that's Glaive Rush. Icicle Crash hits it for roughly 40, if I'm not mistaken, 40% minimum. So that's a clean 2-hit KO, 3-hit KO, really, I guess. So I can click Icicle Crash into it twice and hit Ice Shard into it immediately after. If it's not a max HP version, it actually gets 2-hit KO'd pretty consistently. But that's my Baxcalibur set. It's pretty standard moveset wise, I suppose. The only thing would again be that Glaive Rush, but it's slightly outpacing his Metagross if it goes Adamant. I'm also outpacing anything that's trying to speed creep that level, if I'm not mistaken. I have just enough attack to hit a lot of those ranges, and then I just went max special defense as a way for me to deal with Terapagos maybe a little better. It also lets me deal with Mew, Hisuian Typhlosion. It lets me tank a Moonblast from a Enamorus, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty consistently. I take 87.5% maximum. Obviously I can't get hit by Stealth Rocks, but hopefully I can prevent those from getting up ever. Next we have Garchomp. This is just a normal Life Orb, Earthquake, Rock Slide, Swords Dance, and Substitute set. I don't need the extra speed. I outspeed a majority of his team, just Enamorus and Roaring Moon, which are typically Pokemon I don't really want to stay in on anyways, in case they are Scarfed, because they'll naturally outspeed me. So I didn't see the point for it. In fact, that's why I have Substitute, because an Earthquake into Roaring Moon does an astronomical amount of damage. It does like 75%. 87% with that Earthquake, and obviously Enamorus just drops to a Rock Slide, so I can deal with them if I have a Substitute up. They'll only just break the Substitute, and then everything else I outspeed. So this is a really powerful set. It's gonna hurt so hard. Only things that I won't outspeed would literally be like timid Mew, timid Typhlosion, because I did want the extra attack, but everything else I absolutely outspeed. And I do think there's justification for maybe Typhlosion to just go modest, and Mew definitely, if it's gonna be in this game, I kind of expect it to be a more support set, because otherwise if he doesn't bring Mew, he's reliant on Swampert and Metagross to get up hazards, which are good at it, yes, but not ideal. Or even Terapagos, but Terapagos is definitely going to be want to be a little bit more offensively oriented this time. Next we have my Clefable, which is kind of a necessary bring for me. It just deals with Roaring Moon. Iron Head is a 2-hit KO, sure, but if it's booster energy, then I give a Sticky Barb, which just helps it get chipped down in range of Ice Shard from Baxcalibur. If I ever tank a Iron Head and I don't get flinched, Moonblast is a clean KO. Knockoff lets me remove items from stuff such as Sinistra, Metagross, Mew, Okidogi. A lot of his Pokemon are kind of reliant on their items, so that's just a really good move to have. Moonlight's decent recovery, so I can hopefully wall something like Terapagos a little better, maybe Enamorus a little more, Roaring Moon especially well. Swampert, it lets me kind of outpace that a little bit. And then Stealth Rocks is just good chip. Again, it helps Enamorus get into range of my Ice Shard at literally all times. And then it's just otherwise just decent chip. That's always nice to have. Puts Swampert into a consistent 2-hit KO if it's max Spadef. But otherwise it's just max Fizdef. We're doing another Meloetta with Relic Song. This is Psyshock so that I can hit Okidogi, a Spadef Okidogi or an Assault Vest Okidogi set a little harder. Psyshock just, I think, typically outpaces Psychic if it's like really especially defensive set. And generally, I mean, I just don't really need Psychic over anything else. Psyshock is probably the route to go. It hits Enamorus quite a bit harder if it's a Calm Mind set. Otherwise, I really do just get hard walled by that. Close Combat is obviously there just for a strong stab move. When I transform, it lets me hit Roaring Moon super hard. It lets me hit Swampert super hard. And then Knockoff is just, again, good utility. I think I'm outpacing Roaring Moon this time. I'm just going max as fast as possible. If Roaring Moon isn't scarfed or anything like that, I just outpace it and kill it. And then the rest I kind of just pumped it to HP because I only needed a certain amount to hit certain thresholds with my attack and special attack. I'm going Terra Steel on Meloetta. That is so I can deal with Metagross a little better, and I can hopefully bait Enamorus into clicking Earth Powers, Terrapagos into Earth Powers. Lets me take Starstorms a little better. Roaring Moon can't actually OHKO Meloetta if I go Terra Steel most of the time. It does need to click Earthquake, which just creates a lot of 50-50s for my opponent. We have Iron Moth. This is a booster energy set. It's it's special attack booster. I do think its speed could be really good for something like Enamorus, but it kind of just walls Enamorus anyways. If it's like a scarf set, it always forces it out. And then typically they're not going to want to stay in anyways, because what are they going to do if I am fast? They get chunked by Sludge Wave, right? They not get chunked, they just die. But I felt like I could have gone offensive this week, but I feel like maybe Iron Moth isn't my win con, so I did decide to go a more defensive route. Getting Toxic Spikes ups is super nice for weakening something like Swampert, Sinistcha, Mew, Roaring Moon, or Terrapagos. If none of them have heavy duty boots, it's a lot of Pokemon that are really not going to want to get poisoned. So it puts on a lot of pressure just with that one click. Whirlwind lets me stop Pokemon like Roaring Moon from setting up, Okidogi if it isn't Guard Dog from setting up, Mew from setting up. Basically any Pokemon that can justify setting up, I do stop it. It also lets me pivot out something like Terrapagos. If it isn't heavy duty boots, I can get extra chip on it with with the Stealth Rocks. Or even get the poison on it if it was in. It's also a good way of, if Okidogi does come out and it isn't Guard Dog and I have Toxic Spikes up while it is in, it's not going to necessarily want to switch out into something unless it's going to go into Metagross, because obviously you can just pivot right back in. It's not typically going to want to go Metagross on Iron Moth, and I can just Whirlwind it out. And with that special attack boost, Fiery Dance hits super hard. It actually still reliably like 2-hit KOs or 3-hit KOs Okidogis if they're not Assault Vest, so it's still really good Pokemon and really good move to click. It's Terra Ghost, a little odd with the Roaring Moon being on the other team, but Terrapagos is still a massive threat, and it lets me be immune to that, and also just the general lack of weakness to the majority of his team is pretty cool. Like, yes, I'm weak to Typhlosion, which I don't honestly see coming. I'm weak to Sinistcha, but I typically outpace that, and I can hit it with a pretty powerful Fiery Dance despite Heat Proof. And then Roaring Moon is just a Pokemon that, like, typically I just click Whirlwind on because I really don't want it to stay in on me and get a boost with Dragon Dance, because that can immediately lead to game. And then finally I do have Bramble Gas. It's a choice banded variant. It's just literally max attack. I want to do as much damage as possible. Power Up is a 2-hit KO into Roaring Moon. It's like a 3 or 4-hit KO into Metagross. Everything else just gets chunked. Roaring Moon's kind of the only consistent switch that he has into Bramble Gas, because everything else, if it isn't if it's not holding an item, then or if it is holding an item that just takes too much damage to Poltergeist, it would have to be Terrapagos, and Terrapagos really doesn't want to break its Terra Shell on a Power Whip just to get 2-hit KO'd by the very next hit, because this does like 33% to Terrapagos and then does 66 next, right? So it's almost a 2-hit KO despite that. But that is going to be the team, guys. I hope you guys all enjoyed this team builder segment. I apologize for it being a little bit longer, but I wanted to explain my sets a little bit more this week. I'll have the timestamps down below, and I'll put that at the front of the video as well. So I hope you guys all enjoyed. Let's get right into the battle. Bye-bye. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Week 3 battle versus Thomas in the WPF Delta. His team is absolutely terrifying, and I don't think my matchup is so great, but in this game specifically, he did not bring Okidogi, and Okidogi was a Pokemon that I felt was going to be a very annoying Pokemon. He also didn't bring Mew, which is pretty cool. That makes me think he doesn't have the greatest hazard control. He does have Metagross, but I think I want to lead off with Volcarona. Volcarona will waste its booster energy, but that's entirely fine. I'm going to be able to get Toxic Spikes up, which is incredibly valuable for something like Swampert. Even Terrapagos if it's not heavy duty boots. And then if it's even like Metagross, Electros, even Enamorus, I can get a pretty powerful Fiery Dance off. He only has one Pokemon that's good for hazard control, and it is Terrapagos. Terrapagos can be good, but it does require me to switch into Bramble Gas, and again, if it's not heavy duty boots, that really puts a dampener on it. So I am going to lead with Volcarona. I think his only hazard setters will be Terrapagos and Metagross, Terapagos, I can Terra into Terra Ghost, which means he can't Rapid Spin on me. And I should be able to kill Metagross with Iron Moth because I do get a special attack boost. It depends on if it's Assault Vest. If it's Assault Vest, then I can't kill it. But if it is, or if it isn't, then I click Fiery Dance one time and I do 102%, and that's to a max HP Metagross. That's minimum. Okay. Not so great. That's fine. Is this Banded? Banded wouldn't be so great. I think Banded is fine as long as he doesn't click Knockoff or Earthquake. Knockoff, I chew a Knockoff. Earthquake would be bad. I really would like to get Toxic Spikes up here. I can live a +1 Knockoff if it goes for like Dragon Dance, which I think he might justify doing. I outspeed everything else. I will click Whirlwind. I don't want him to click Dragon Dance. If he clicks Earthquake, that is unfortunate. But I feel like he really can't justify clicking. He can totally justify clicking Earthquake, but he has to question whether or not I'm going to be like, you know, still have Dazzling Gleam if I'm going to Terra. If I Terra, then I do live the Earthquake. At least my version does. You wouldn't necessarily know that, of course. I don't want to Terra Iron Moth so early, though, because it has a good defensive typing. That's fine. Oh, that's so okay. Okay. That is... Is that possible for me to determine if it's Banded or not? That did not a lot of damage. I think it might be Banded. Dave, who's Dave? Eel, get the hell out of here, Eel. Okay, did not want to D-dance a D-dancing guy. Please don't go back into Roaring Moon. That would be sucky. Swampert? That's not great. I could be Energy Ball is the only thing. I do think I'll just swap. Okay, so I'm at 349. 349 minus 328 is 21 damage, so he is not Banded. He's most definitely not Banded. In fact, that was a mineral U-turn that he landed on me there. I really do like Iron Moth here. I could Terra here. I really could Terra here. But I think I might go Bramblegast. Because Bramblegast on Swampert, it's pretty obvious, yes, but I still live a knockoff, and then obviously he doesn't want to stay in with it, and I think that's fine. I could also just go that guy. We're gonna go Bramblegast. I think it sucks that he's gonna be able to get like either a free flip turn off, or he's gonna read my move and go for like knockoff. I could see Earthquake, I guess. Anything's really okay. Free withdraw, that also makes sense. He definitely knows I'm not Energy Ball now. He's going back out into Dave, which is, oh, that's actually so okay. Bramblegast hits this thing really hard. I'm gonna do like 86% to this thing if it's like max HP. I could go for Skitter Smack. Skitter Smack kind of makes sense if he goes into like Roaring Moon. I think Power Whip is fine enough though, and I'm just gonna click Power Whip. Nothing wants to switch into this. Roaring Moon is like the clearest answer ever, because what does this do to it? It clicks Strength Sap and leaves. Is like the most that Roaring Moon would necessarily be threatened by. I do have Skitter Smack for it in case he does decide to go into it. Eel's not gonna appreciate this Power Whip. If it's not like max HP, max defense, it still has roll to die. You know? U-turn, that's fine. He knows I'm Banded now, which means I think he justifies just going Roaring Moon. I kind of want to just click Power Whip on Roaring Moon, to be completely honest. Toothless. We'll get to see if it's Scarfed here, I think is fair. He definitely doesn't want to tank this Power Whip, but he's not Banded. I think Dragon Dance makes total sense. Well, I guess not really. It's probably Scarfed because he clicked U-turn. Yeah, I think Scarf makes sense. There's no way I stay in his eyes. This might have been a throw, but Power Up still does 50% if I manage to land it, at least. So let's see if he's wanting to click U-turn again because he thinks I'm not going to stay in. There's no point going for knockoff. Yes, that's big. That's a big Power Whip that I'm going to get off here. Metagross doesn't tank this so like super well. 30%, they kind of chewed it. That does look like max HP to me. I'll get to check for Bullet Punch, so I am gonna stay in. Bullet Punch from a high attack version does kill. If it's not high attack and it's like max defense or something like that, Bullet Punch still always kills. So I get to scout for that. I think that's fair. I would go to like, I could go to Volcarona. This is still a good Pokemon. Power Whip still does work into this, like if I'm on like Swampert. I think I will go Volcarona. I don't think he's gonna click like Psychic Fangs or something. If he goes for Psychic Fangs, that does suck. Obviously, I am super dead if he goes for Psychic Fangs. Yeah. 266. Oh, it's a crit. Okay. That kind of makes sense. Fiery Dance super kills here. So I do think he's going to swap. I do want to get my Toxic Spikes up. Believe it or not, my Iron Moth does have a chance to live a Psychic Fangs from a Metagross that isn't max attack. Or really invested into attack like even halfway. If he's like 128 attack, I can still technically live a Psychic Fangs, I believe. No, I do die from that one. What's the minimum? What's the minimum that he has to have? It doesn't matter. Okay. We're making progress here. Toxic Spikes being back up. Oh, I'm so okay with that. I'm so okay with that. That's awesome. I'm going to click Fiery Dance here. If he goes like, yeah, that's a dead Electros. That's huge. If he's not heavy duty boots, Terrapagos can't really come in super comfortably. Roaring Moon doesn't want to come in because it gets poisoned. Obviously, it doesn't want to get poisoned. That is definitely scarfed on Roaring Moon. I can't think of many other Roaring Moon sets that would want to be U-turn. It did minimum damage to my Iron Moth, so it can't be really any attacking thing. In fact, I think that's Jolly even. Oh, is it Jolly? I'm a little confused about what this Roaring Moon set is right now. I just know it's not banded. Yeah, and I think it has to be Jolly. It can't even be max attack. If it is max attack, it literally hit the minimum roll. This thing is not super amazing anymore. I could go for Whirlwind. I know it's not Dragon Dance, or I guess it could be Dragon Dance. Still. Yeah, I guess we just get rid of this thing. Like, just take this thing off the field. I don't believe I got a special attack boost. My Iron Moth hasn't been getting any recently. 23% isn't so bad. It's not so great either. Yeah, let's just click Whirlwind again, I guess. He has to click Earthquake if he wants to kill me. There's not another version that would be able to kill me, I don't think. He can't even kill me with an Outrage, even like a max attack Outrage, which I know he isn't. So yeah, he has to click Earthquake. He has to have Earthquake. Okay, he is. That's so okay. I think we do just go either Clef or Bax. I really think Clef might be the move. I get to... Do I want to get rid of whatever Roaring Moon has right now? I don't outspeed it with anything, either way. I guess it would be nice to see. Could also go for Stealth Rocks. I think we go for Knockoff once, and then we click Stealth Rocks next. Because I do think he's Scarfed into Earthquake. Scarfed for what, though? I guess Scale Shot Chomp? Or the Dragon Dance Backs, maybe? I guess he could be Scarfed for. But then I just click Ice Shard on those. He's definitely Scarfed. What am I gonna see? That's Metagross. It's fine. Shuka. Okay. I could go hard Chomp, but if I go hard Chomp and I get hit by like... Do I need Bramble anymore? Like, it would be nice, I guess, but I don't need it at all anymore, actually. It would mean that that dude is pretty free to click really anything. I think I do go this dude. Yeah, I'll go Bramble, sack that off, come into Chomp, click sub. I think that's probably the move. Because Chomp still does like 1 billion to Roaring Moon. It would kill after any sort of drop or anything. Oh, hard switch. Okay, that's fine. Are you serious? Shell is Enam. I'm clicking Shadow Sneak on that dude. Are you serious? Super clicking Shadow Sneak on that. That also makes me think he's not Ice Punch on Metagross. He doesn't have it. Okay, I could click Shadow Sneak here, or I could just click Power Whip. It really depends on what this Enamorus is set here to do. So Bramble will always put this into Ice Shard range from... yeah, or just click Shadow Sneak from Baxcalibur. If he wants to go Terapagos, that is unfortunate, but he can't get Rapid Spin up. Okay, that's fine. I'm so okay with that. This is going to take 40% from Sneak, and then it's going to die to Bats for an Ice Shard. Big damage. Terra Blast is fine, because I'm just going to come in with Backs and kill. Could also go like Clef, I guess. Because Clef should always still be able to live Moonblast, and that would fight against any sort of Yachi Berry mode, which is maybe worth it. I could also go, or I could go this dude. No. I mean, yeah, I really could. Miku could come in very easily on this. It's Terra Stellar. A Moonblast at +1 will do like 55%, and Relic Song would put me faster than it, so I could always know if it's Scarfed or not. Could be a move. I really like the Backs route. Only thing with Backs would be obviously Moonblast would still KO. I feel like there's no way he can justify Yachi Berry. That's the only thing Enamorus is good for, is breaking through my team. I don't believe I saw anything else. Like, I will go for Ice Shard. I'm gonna hope he's not Yachi Berry. If he is Yachi Berry, then it's a free Relic Song from Meloetta at least, which means Roaring Moon won't be able to so easily come in. I don't think. I think Ice Shard is super fine here. Worst case would be what, he goes into Swampert and I click Freeze Dry next turn. He is thinking this through, which makes me think he is not gonna be. Yeah, maybe he is more of a superpowered boosting his defense route, versus having to just immediately tank the Ice Shard with the Yachi Berry. He's thinking this through a little heavy, I already clicked on my move, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, if you go Swampert plus Freeze Dry plus Poison, I do think that would KO. That should, yeah, it's dead. Okay, dead and Amorous, let's go. Very big. Roaring Moon can come out, and unless he has Outrage, I don't think he's able to kill Baxcalibur. I don't even think Dragon Claw would. Yeah, Dragon Claw would not KO. So he better be Outrage. If he's Outrage, I just go Clef and I kill Roaring Moon. So you just struggle to click that. Metagross is dead to an Earthquake, and I do just click it because even like Bullet Punch will do like 50% or so. So we're gonna click Earthquake. The worst move that he could click into me would be Meteor Mash. And Meteor Mash shouldn't kill unless it crits. Okay, and he's going for Bullet Punch anyways. No damage at all. It was very, very weak. Earthquake is not a KO, but I do get Ice Shard here, and that's going to KO immediately after. Roaring Moon can come out and click Dragon Claw now if it wants to, but now Metagross is dead. So Clef is much more consistently good. Terapagos, I'm bulky on the special defensive side. I'm hoping I'd be able to take a Terra Starstorm. I do believe so. I do believe I will be able to. Icicle Crash into Icicle Crash because I might be faster than this. It's not a 0% chance. He is indeed what's it called though? So I kind of do want to swap. I want to go Clef, I think. I'm going to click Icicle Crash. He's definitely heavy duty boots. That's fine though. Terra Starstorm does have a pretty decent chance of KOing me now. Ooh. Okay. I thought I missed. I was going to say that would be bad if I missed. He's faster. Naturally, he's faster. Terra Starstorm has a very decent chance of KOing me at this rate. He does have a boost as well. I don't know if a max boosted version can outspeed my Meloetta. I think it probably can. It definitely can. It has been chipped down. He does KO me with Terra Starstorm. He has to click it though, and he has to not be modest, I think. Yeah, he doesn't make as much progress if he isn't modest. So he does have to be modest. I think I could click Icicle Crash here. That might be my best route. I don't really need the extra chip too much. Oh, okay, that's unfortunate. I think he was probably timid. He could have been modest, I guess. I could go Garchomp, but that depends on if he has Ice Beam or not. I think I just go Miku. Because Meloetta should be able to always live Terra Starstorm. And I do still have Terra and everything as well. Yeah, I think I go Miku. I'm Psychic? Not Psyshock. Oh, I am Psyshock. Why am I Psyshock? I definitely wanted to be Psychic. That's annoying. Guess it doesn't really change a lot though. I only do like 30% anyways. Yeah, I mean, I'll click Relic Song once. He might switch moves up on me because I am, yes, because I am Terra Steel. I could get a sleep. Are you so sleepy? So sleepy? No sleepy. I'm gonna click close combat here. It's gonna be a dead Terapagos. He does have to read what I want to do here. Although it is still a Assault Vest, so it's not going to do a lot either way. Terra Starstorm does like 50% minimum or maximum, and that's from a modest version I'm looking at. 366 to 312. Did I take any damage before that? I don't think so. He did 54 damage. That means he, I mean, one, he definitely has Earth Power. I got hit by it. And that means he is definitely not even... yeah, he's not modest. He is timid. So that was definitely a high roll he got on my Baxcalibur, which sucks. I guess, could he be modest? He could have gotten a mid roll there. I guess that's probably more likely. You can't really go Swampert here because it's just going to take too much damage. What else does he have still alive? I think that's kind of it. I think he has Roaring Moon and Swampert left. I've killed Enamorus, I've killed Electros, killed Metagross, killed Terapagos. That has 4 Pokemon that are dead. He could go Roaring Moon here, but as we've discovered, he is either Scarfed or he's not. And he's like something random, and he's just only been clicking 1 move so far. My Meloetta can live any and all moves except for Outrage, I think. I think Dragon Claw still isn't a guaranteed OHKO, and that's including the fact that I'm hasty. So I have a negative defensive nature. Oh, I just lost my attack boost, or my defense boost actually. So if he is Scarfed or Roaring Moon, he just has to have Dragon Claw, which would be a little funky because that would mean he would have to swap like Iron Head or Knockoff or something. Earthquake shouldn't ever be able to kill me despite my -1 defense drop, right? It is a roll to kill me. I think I stay in either way. And I click close combat again. Earthquake is his only move. I'm at 233 HP. I could just go hard Fable, actually. That's probably the better move. Just to preserve this and not risk another 37% chance to KO. We're gonna go Clef. Bax being down to that Terapagos does suck. Probably should have remembered that Roaring Moon is still a threat. We're gonna go Clef again. Not gonna let it go down. Roaring Moon is gonna click U-turn. That's gonna send him out into Swampert. That's gonna get me Stealth Rocks, which I suppose would be good still. I am gonna click Knockoff actually first, no matter what. Just can not kill me unless it's banded and like Poison Jab. And that would require it to be attack invested anyways. If it's attack invested like that, if it's like max adamant, Poison Jab banded, Poison Jab does 67.5% maximum. If he's not banded, he doesn't ever 2-hit KO me, and poison doesn't matter because I am Magic Guard. We are going to click knock off, get its item removed off of here. I don't want it no more. Oh, this is so easy for Clef. Clef totally has this. That's no more citrus. You're gonna click Moonlight, heal up a little bit. How does Sticky Barb work? Does Sticky Barb only work if I get hit by an attack? Damages the holder if a Pokemon with no item hits it. Okay. If the target, okay, yeah. I think yes. I think Clefable definitely has this in the bag at this point. If he ever hits me with a physical attack, like if he ever clicks me with knockoff or he ever clicks me with flip turn, then I do trade over my Sticky Barb, which is great for Swampert. It's gonna really, really worsen its longevity. I am gonna. Ooh, it's a speed tie as well. That's definitely good for me. That's much better for me than it is for him. 270. How much does Roaring Moon, a Scarfed Roaring Moon, do? %48.7%. I am gonna click Moonblast one time, and then I'm gonna click Morning Sun next. I guess that relies on me outspeeding once, which probably not best case scenario. Probably should have just clicked Morning Sun again, but that is what it is. That's not a 3 KO though. We're good. That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter a little bit. Come on, big guy. Click Flip Turn, man. I want Flip Turn. Shouldn't KO. No, it does not. Moonlight Recovery. It's a little unfortunate I had to resort to this, but it is what it is. Morning Sun Recovery is still very valuable, and I have 6 more. I do gotta click it, you know. I could go Chomp after one more Moonblast and click Earthquake, and then that would let me go back out into Clef pretty easily. After one more Moonblast, yeah. Or I could I even ever go Meloetta? I kind of don't believe it can live an attack. I mean, Meloetta can. Yeah, Meloetta can still live an attack. I could do that and click Relic Song. That's probably my way to win, like just outright win, is to do that instead. This way, if I do this one more time, which I can, yeah, I'm just gonna do this one more time. That's fine. He cannot kill me unless he crits. That's doing a lot of damage. Is the other thing. And click Moonlight again 2 more times. Big damage, not enough. Okay, that is definitely in the bag. Roaring Moon cannot come out. It cannot click Moon or Iron Head. There's just no way. It can't justify it, so we are going to click Moonblast. How much does Iron Head do? Iron Head has a... It's not booster, it's Scarfed. It does 210 minimum or maximum. I think it's fine for the Scarfed. Iron Head, just don't flinch. That's an unfortunate flinch. That's very unfortunate. I go Chomp. Chomp shouldn't ever be able to die to 2 Iron Heads. Just shouldn't be a thing it's able to do. It's so very obviously Scarfed. It has to be. So we're gonna click Earthquake, we're gonna click Earthquake, and this should be a dead Roaring Moon. This should be a 1 game. That's a dead Swampert on the incoming. Imagine I click sub there though. Dead Swampert. Goes Roaring Moon, and he clicks like Outrage or Dragon Claw or something. Garchomp should be able to finish off if he doesn't click any of those moves. It shouldn't be capable of KOing me. Even Knockoff should not be capable of KOing me. If Knockoff can kill me. Man, let me find my damn Choice Scarf Roaring Moon again. Garchomp, how much HP are you at? You were at 226, and a knockoff does not ever kill me. I do just click Earthquake again. And that should be a game unless he goes for Outrage, in which case I just go to Clefable. It doesn't matter. It should never be able to kill. Let's go, Garchomp. Very proud of you, man. Okay. That was a lot cleaner of a game than I ever anticipated it was going to be. I really thought this was a bad matchup on my end. I was really threatened by Okidogi. That Toxic Spikes from Iron Moth really put in a lot of work. It made him have to like really respect my switching or my ability to like play into him. So Swampert, he couldn't go into Swampert as freely because I'm assuming obviously he wasn't heavy duty boots. He was Citrus Berry. It being poisoned would have really sucked. Enamorus getting chipped by Bramblegast allowed Bax to just come in and immediately KO it, which is super huge. Terapagos, if that was not modest, that was a really unfortunate roll in Baxcalibur. It made Terapagos a little more annoying to deal with, but that's okay. That is what it is. I do think if that was the case where it wasn't timid, it wasn't modest, then Meloetta probably could have KO'd it with 2 Relic Songs or 2 Psychic, or like, you know, maybe Relic Song into knockoff could have killed it instead of Relic Song into close combat. Which would have made it a lot harder for Roaring Moon to break through. It being Scarfed was actually like the savior this round, and not having that damage that I needed it to have, like, that was definitely huge. So GG's to Thomas. I had a great game. I think he played pretty damn well. I just think maybe my prep was a little better this round. I don't even mean that in any sort of offensive way. I literally mean, like, I think I might have just brought the right Pokemon into his 6. Like, I don't mean that he didn't prep well. Obviously, he probably prepped fantastically. Terra Stellar Enamorus, if that was superpower, it lived 8 Ice Shard from Excalibur really comfortably. In which case, Enamorus was a threat because that was a really fast Pokemon as well. It outsped my entire team except for Iron Moth and Meloetta after it terrestrializes. So that was definitely a threat if it was going to be a superpower set. So, but either way, GG's to Thomas again. I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one in week 4. I don't actually know who I play off the top of my head, but you guys will know in week 4. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.